Okay, Mark, long time no see.
Time to do it again. Answer the questions the people have.
All right, so we got our next segment of questions for you. This is a pretty interesting one. So this is from someone my age. I would like to know Coach Baker's take on what a 33-year-old facing a potential medical necessity knee replacement should try to focus on once they return. I've already had to drop out this season after like 3 weeks and will likely be out for next season as well. Any help I can get from most likely starting from scratch all over again would be a blessing.
So what I would do is make sure whatever the therapist say or the doctor, do all the work, get rehab, get where you don't hurt.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to get a knee replacement, which is pretty, I'm not sure you're getting it at 33. That's pretty young. The knee replacements, I'm like 100%. I've coached 1,000 bowlers who've had knee replacements, and they all say exactly the same thing. I wish I would have done it sooner.
Oh, wow.
My knee replacements are back. They're great. They're bowling more. Now, if it's not that, and you torn an ACL or an MCL and you got to come back, the first thing I would do wherever you start your approach normally, I would start a foot sooner. Whatever your knee bend was, I would decrease it a little bit. You want to feel it in your thighs. You don't want to get your head too far forward and put any pressure, especially if it's your slide knee. If you come back from surgery, you're going to be tentative. Move up on the approach. Decrease your knee bend. Work on balance. Don't work on ball speed and rev rate. Get it on balance. Get it on your target. Get where you can bowl a lot before the pain comes back. Then you can really work on your game. But the first thing you got to do is not try to be what you once were, because you don't want to re-injure something that takes. If you're off for a year and a half, you hurt something.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to come back with no pain and then worry about the bowling scores later.
For sure. That's good advice. And yeah, take it easy. Like you said, don't try to, I know mentally as athletes sometimes, I know I walk on a basketball court and I have flashbacks and I think, but I know physically we're not in the same shape as we were. So
dude, when you turn 65, you don't have to worry about that no more.
You don't even want to think about doing it.
You don't even think about it.
Well, I got a little while to go, Mark.
You got a ways.
Okay, next question. Hi, I wanted to ask Coach Baker, how do I fight sticky approaches?
That is an unbelievably good question because I get asked that all the time. Now we're here at Lynbrook, very unique. Lynbrook still has wood.
Yeah.
Last week, they cut the approaches. They're very white, so they're beyond slippery. The ocean is only about 10 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to the bowling centers closer to the ocean, there's more humidity. Approaches are tacky. So what's happened is a lot of people plant now, which when I started coaching 17 years ago, hardly anybody planted, and I try to talk you out of it. Now I understand why. So the one thing you can do for the tacky approaches is the shoes are the high-end shoes now do have the multiple soles.
Exactly.
And you can cut them in half, sideways, front to back. I know Chris Barnes has, probably a combination of 80 different ways he can slide.
What do you mean sideways and front to back?
Oh, some people cut the sole.
So like I have mine on right now.
You could cut them. You could have it really slide here and sticky here.
Oh.
You cut them in half.
Wow.
Cut the side sole in half, or you can cut this thing.
I've never thought about.
That's what Chris does. Starts, stops, starts, stops. He wants to start a slide, hit the brakes. Yeah, Chris, there's no stones unturned with that guy.
Yeah, he's got
so one year he bowled the World Championships in Las Vegas. It was in the summer and it rained. Everybody was face planting. They were so sticky.
Oh, wow.
One guy wasn't. He won all events by a couple hundred. Never had an issue because he had 80 different variations of the slide sole.
He was ready for whatever.
He wasn't going to get beat on stuff like that.
Wow.
That's the extreme way to do it. But the high-end shoes do come with multiple soles and slide soles. That'd be your best bet right there.
So you don't recommend any of the Easy Slide or any of that stuff that people be out there?
No, because the guy that was big, I hated bowling people use Easy Slide because I would slip.
Yeah, that's a risky situation.
And it's very tricky. You're doing it for yourself, but it does affect the other guys on the team.
I agree. So be mindful of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everywhere.
Oh yeah? Oh, that's from, oh man. Right on cue.
And you're here, which the lanes are the slipperiest of any house in Orange County.
So that could be a...
The powder is not needed here. That's somebody who's bowling in their tennis shoes.
So you said they cut the approaches. I've never heard that term used before.
Wood. You cut wood. You make them flatter.
So yeah, I get that.
Because the wood gets more bowed than a synthetic. So now they're super, super white. Before they would get a little dark between like 15 and 20 and 30, where most people slide. Only the approaches get a little darker on wood. So now you can see they're super, super white, and they tend to be a little bit slipperier when they first cut them. Back in the old days when we had wood lanes, you cut the lane in the approach. You see how low it is?
Yeah.
Back, where you bowled, there was a big step up.
Yeah.
Every 2 years or every year, you would cut the lane and the approach down a 32nd, a 16th to make everything level again. That was called that was resurfacing. Synthetics took away that.
So that's why they switched to the synthetics over time, or
You know, I don't know why they came up with something new to sell. I mean, I'm
that was
sure
in
it
the
was to
90s,
sell like
wasn't it?
your lanes are going to last longer. The first time we bowled in synthetics for me personally was 1987
the 80s.
in
Wow.
Tacoma. We bowled the U.S. Open, the first stop of the year for 100,000 on top, and Dale Ballard won that event. He used a yellow dot on synthetics. None of us even tried that. Obviously, Dale took home a $100,000 check. He did the right thing. I'm sure he had to go through Pete and Marshall somewhere.
Yeah.
Back in the day, yeah, the long formats, you pretty much had to go through Pete and Marshall all the time.
Regardless,
Yeah, those two guys were, the longer it went, those two guys tend to show up the most. They were the best bowlers.
I feel like I vaguely remember when I was younger in like the early mid 90s.
Synthetics became more and more prevalent.
Yeah, I would see them popping up, and it was like something we had to be aware of. It's like these lanes are synthetic,
Right.
that.
So I don't think there's any wood houses up in Southern California, but there are quite a few centers that still have wood approaches. And if I was still bowling, I would prefer wood. I'd rather slip than stick.
Yeah, me
I
too.
always thought synthetic lanes and wood approaches was a great combination.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Okay. And I feel like we naturally should ask the opposite then. What do you do on approaches that are slick?
Back in the day, it was easy. You just spit on your hand and right down to the bottom of your lens.
Yeah, I don't think people.
I
do
mean, we
that
just
no
get a
more.
little water and put on your thing, you slide.
Yeah.
Back in the day when you wore lens, we didn't really, they were sticking in your slipper. You use the ashtrays and the ashes or the pencil from Keep Score on your foot, you'd slide more. If you didn't like it, you just spit on your hand and you bowled. And we didn't have all these issues.
So are you not recommending they spit on their hand in 2026?
Works. Worked for me. He wasn't that big a deal.
I'm just curious to hear what our
that'll go
viewers
over
are
well.
gonna think when they hear that part. That's so funny. It's like basketball. It's like,
You know, I mean, when you want to change a page, you lick your finger. And
you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, next question. I'm a slow bowler, so we'll take that how you feel like we want to take
you
it.
take a long time to throw the shot, or you throw
No,
it
I
slow?
only average around 10 miles per hour.
That's pretty slow.
So when I hit the pins, my 12-pound ball seems to have no energy to push through them. What are some ways to work towards increasing ball speed for a woman that is starting to switch to a two-hander bowling style? Wow,
That's a loaded question.
it is.
So the original answer was quit hitting the pocket. Go Brooklyn. Throw it
Really?
10 miles an hour, just go Brooklyn every shot. You won't split. The worst thing that happens, you work and you work and you work to get better at our game. You hit the pocket, you throw it 10 miles an hour with a 12-pound ball. You're gonna leave an ungodly amount of 8-10s, 5-7s, and 4-5-7s. You did your job, you hit the 1-3, everybody's telling you hit the pocket, you're knocking nothing over. If she was on my team, we bowled doubles, I'd make her go Brooklyn. Simple. Now, if you're having a hard time one-handed throwing that slow, going to two-handed is not gonna be a day at
Not
the
gonna
beach.
make it better.
But if you want to try it, you're going to have to get, we talked about with pistol. Get your swing moving, get your feet moving, and see what happens.
Have you had many women that you've coached that have switched to two-handed?
Not near as many as the men.
Yeah.
And the men tend to be a very, I think 30 years old tends to be the demarcation line. If they're over 30, they just go to two finger, no thumb, because they're not flexible in their upper body.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But if they're a junior, I have no juniors that bowl two finger, no thumb. They're all two-handed.
None at all.
None.
Wow.
But a lot of adults, since we started
Yeah,
doing
for
the
sure.
channel, I get quite a few of that.
Wow.
Because it's easy to hook it, there's no anchor.
Exactly.
But
You just want to see the ball.
I've got, I think, 1, 2, 3 or 4 girls that bowl two-handed.
Okay.
It's still a growing thing.
That's cool though. I like that, and it's.
When you go to some of the tournaments, there's a couple girls. A girl from Sweden's obviously really, really good at it. The girl that bowls for Vanderbilt's very, very good at it. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy one day seeing all the women throwing two-handed. We've seen some evolutions in the sport. I feel like that's gonna be a
It's on its way.
little bit of a game changer. Yeah. Okay. We got 2 more. Okay. What are some tips you have for sliding? I find myself stopping a foot behind the line, if not more.
I'd move up half as much. So if you're finishing a foot behind the foul line, start 6 inches closer. You want to use the foul line as a barrier to keep your head up. I always say this guy's name, I thought he was the best at it, was a guy named Brian Voss, bowled in my era, one of the best bowlers of all time. I thought Brian had the ability to get his entire body to the foul line. So BV, we called him. He made the lane short. He was bowling on a 57, 56 foot lane.
Yeah.
He was one of the top 5 bowlers I bowled against in my career. I thought he did an amazing job of getting there. So if you're finishing a foot back, what tends to happen is you come up short, your head tails to tilt forward, your hand gets on top,
Never
you fall
good.
off. So I would never ask anybody to move up the entire amount they're behind the line because the foul line will get on you too quick. So cut it in half. If you're a foot behind, start 6 inches closer. What you're trying to do is regulate your head. And if you're within 3 or 4 inches, if you're this close to the foul line, if you're only this far away, your head will stay up. When you start getting that far away, we try to get to the foul line with our face and then our heads invariably go down. So that's a very important question. I would move up half as much as what you're finishing behind the foul line.
That sounds like something I could take from for sure.
You want to make the lane as short as possible.
Yeah, and like you said,
I have all kinds of bowlers on the virtual lessons through the channel, 2-3 feet behind the foul line. So you're making the lane really, really long.
Yeah.
It makes you work harder to knock down the pins. The lane getting shorter, I think, takes less effort.
And to keep it on the lane.
He gets the ball in the lane. I thought Brian was I always thought Brian was amazing at making a lane short.
Yeah.
He bowled good on it. It didn't really matter what we bowled on. He bowled good on everything.
Because the ball's not going to hook at the foul line.
Not gonna hook in the air.
It's not going to hook in the area.
Mika.
Good point. Okay, last question. I practice every week for 5 games and I bowl in league for 2 nights. When I practice, I've been told to use all 5 balls I bring and bowl 1 game with each ball. Am I wasting my time using every ball instead of the right ball and executing the right shot for repeatability and accuracy to work on my game? I figure I should try each ball for 2 frames in the first game and see which ball is working the best and practice with it from there. The advice I get is that the other technique is supposed to teach me to adjust. Loaded question.
I gotta be careful how I answer this one because I'll
You don't
say
know who
something
told him what?
I'll say something not nice.
5 balls versus.
First
the
off,
right
you got to have a pretty damn good skill set to make all that work.
ball. Yeah.
And most people I coach don't.
Mm-hmm.
The most common thing I see, take a lesson, 180 average bowler. I'm not talking about this person. This is in general. Do not take this personal. 180 average bowler. They can't hit the broadside of a barn. I mean, I can get harsh when I want. I'm almost 65.
Hey, it is what it is. They need it.
And then I get them dialed in. I get their balance better. I work on their timing and I line them up. The Baker box works pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Hit the pocket 7, 8, 10 times in a row. 7, 8 strikes. They leave 1 flat 10.
They
Time to
switch
switch balls. Bro, you're 180. What are we talking about here? Stay with the 1 ball a little longer, but I left the flat 10. Well, the world's not going to spin off its axis.
Adjust.
Pick it up. Well, I'm like, you guys make it out to be, so they say switch balls so much.
Yeah.
I would practice 5 games a week. At most, I'd bring in 2. Bowl all 5 games with 1 ball, because you chart it like this ball only lasts me 2 games.
Yeah.
By the 3rd game, I can't make it work. Let me come in next week and do it again. Exactly beginning of the 3rd game, this ball died. Now you know how long the ball lasts.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go to this ball. Let me try the bionic. I got nothing the first 2 games because it hooks too much. But when lanes break down, it works good. Okay, I know this ball is going to be a game 3 ball. I would never just throw 2 shots and change. None of you are good enough.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to tell you the truth.
No,
Because if
for
you're
real.
asking that question, you're good enough, you'd be on the tour, you wouldn't be asking the question.
That's
I'm
true, too.
not being personal, I'm being generic. Now here's what happens to those flat 10 guys. 180, finally getting dialed in, leave a flat 10, I got to change everything. I'm like, dude, we just had the Olympics. You know what 9 spare is? What? It's a silver medal. You got the 2nd best frame in the history of our sport.
Yeah.
I watched the Olympics, pretty close. You know what happened to all the silver medals? Nobody gave them back.
Yeah.
They all had their country's
happy
flag
to-
on their
happy to
shoulders,
have it.
and they had tears streaming down their face because they got the silver medal. 9 spare isn't the end of the world.
Yeah.
If you're really good at 9 spare, you'll have nobody have problem to have people to bowl with you. So, when we gentlemen 1 flat 10, 180 start switching balls in 20 minutes, guess what I tell them? You accomplish your ball. You accomplish your goal. You have no flat 10s last 20 minutes. You haven't hit the pocket in 20 minutes either, but guess what, bro? No
You
flat
ain't got
10s.
no flat 10s.
You're shooting 130 now.
Yeah.
You want to do it my way or your way? So, don't
That's a
switch
good
balls
point.
so fast.
Yeah.
People become enamored with it. Your skill set. Now, if you're Anthony Simonson, knock yourself out.
Do what you want.
But Anthony's also on the other side. Anthony can use 1 ball and play the whole lane.
Exactly, and he
So,
knows how to use
or
it.
he knows how to switch balls because of what they're looking for. It's a very fine line, but I would stay with my ball to see how long it doesn't work and then switch balls. I wouldn't pick a number. I would keep track of the frames. I got a good look, blah, 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 blah. Wow, I'm 22 frames into this, 2 weeks in a row. By frames 23 through 25, I've got nothing. So now you know by end of game 1, middle of game 2, this ball stops. Then try the other ball.
And it seems very difficult to replicate league when you're bowling by yourself. The lanes
Yeah,
are
I
gonna
just
break
think
down
people
so
switch balls
much
too
different.
fast.
Yeah, you know,
really
like, it's
I see them switching balls. You know, they leave a ring and 10, or they hit the pocket. Now, if you're a 230 average bowler, well, one, you're not asking the question.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes using a different ball every time, the goal in bowling is to repeat over and over and over and over. That's a very hard thing to switch balls every time.
Yeah.
I don't think you're getting enough information that's going to help you.
That's a great.
So
way to put
I
it.
wasn't being personal.
That's a great
the
way to put it.
person that asked
though.
the question, I wasn't mad at you. I just hear this on a daily basis. One flat 10, the earth literally spun off its axis. We're all going to leave. No, it's just 9. And most times as a flat 10, you didn't throw it very good.
Yeah.
That was my era. I never threw a flat 10 good in my life.
Yeah.
Every one of them was on me.
Yeah.
So I never thought about switching balls. I thought about switching me. Like, damn, Baker, that wasn't very good. You're lucky you got 9.
Yeah.
That's how I saw flat
Sometimes
10s.
you have the ring ones and you have balls that are
ring and
just good
10s,
shots.
ring and 10s, I lost my mind more than once.
Yeah. You
I
know,
had a temper. Ring and
Yeah.
10s still piss me off.
And it's like you can't be too upset when you threw a good ball, and that's just what happens. That's part of the game. That's why we bowl. You never
Try
know.
to figure out how long can you use a ball instead of just switching balls to switch balls.
Yeah.
Try to figure out, and certain balls are, they're going to work in games 2 and 3, or they're going to be the balls for the fresh. Try to use them the right way.
Yeah.
Bring in 3 balls. I'm going to use this for those 6 games. These the first 2. Once I start going 2 pin through the nose, 2 pin through the nose, now I'm going to go to this ball. How long can it last? Then that ball. So put 3 balls in order that you think you're going to use, and use one as long as you possibly can,
Until you go
and
to the
use it
next.
as long as you can, use it as long as you can, and you'll start understanding your windows better. And once you do that, you'll know, hey, this is time for me to switch.
Perfect answer. As always, thank you so much.
But the
Mark.
flat 10 is not the end of the world.
It's not.
Pick it up.
It's not.
It's 9 spare.
Part
It's
of
a
the
silver
game.
medal.
Part of the game.
Shout out to my man, Steve Jacobs. I stole that from him.
Okay.
One of the coaches at Camp Bakes.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Silver
Shout
medal.
out to
Nobody
Steve.
gave him back. They all kept him.
I'm not gonna
Good-
lie.
Good frame.
When I was younger, my mom used to get pissed at me because I'd try to throw my silvers in the trash on them.
That means you want a lot of medals.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But she made me appreciate it more the older I got. But yeah, so second best outcome that you can have on the lane is not
and
a bad
too many
frame.
times I see people make too many. They leave a flat 10, they switch balls, they switch their hand, they switch their speed. They make a lot of changes. Now, at the top level of the world, those guys are really good at that. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think bowlers, in an effort to get good, they do too much and they hurt themselves.
And don't realize that it's actually working against them. I agree. I think the better that you bowl, the less any of that stuff actually matters because you're actually.
I think the
throwing
better
the
that you
ball
bowl and you understand yourself better, then the ball change become, okay,
yeah.
this scenario, I automatically switch when I see this set of things and I go to this one and this is the move I make.
well. Yeah.
I think you need to get better at that. Switching balls every game. What if that day the ball that you started with was going to work for 3?
Sometimes it does.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, some of the guys that bowl the 900 series, they don't switch balls.
Yeah, that's true.
They stay with
too.
one ball the whole time. So
Very
that's a
good
very
point.
fine line.
Yeah.
But now on the other flip of the side of the coin, there are people that love switching balls. That's all they want to do.
Yeah.
So that's not my way of doing it. But if that makes you happy, switch balls every game.
Yeah. Just make sure it's a storm ball or 900 global or roto.
That definitely helps. Yeah, that's a real slippery slope.
Yeah.
And it's just I get so many people that get so uptight about a 10 pin or 2
Yeah.
that as a coach I'm trying to be as positive as possible. But as a bowler in the back of my mind, like, well, that wasn't all that good.
Yeah. And you can't be too.
And you're making all these changes, like, I don't know.
It's like, how about
Anyways.
just throwing it better? Well, thank you so much, Mark. This has been fun as always. Hopefully, some of your questions out there got answered. If you guys have any more, make sure you drop them in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe. It helps us a lot. Check out markbakerbowling.com. You guys can get virtual lessons from Mark. He's available. He's at Lynbrook. He's at Fountain. He's there 5 days a week at one of the 2 locations.
At least lately it's been 6.
Lately, it's been 6.
All good.
So,
Next week's Minnesota. All good. Remember, 9 spare is your friend. No big deal. Work on when to use the ball. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like that's the biggest
Slippery
takeaway.
slope on that one.
Yeah. And we talked a little bit about the slippery approaches, so it's kind of the theme of this segment is
Right.
slippery slope. Bowling's a slippery slope, huh, Mark?
It's all about learning your own game.
Yeah.
When another bowler might, after this so many shots, I switch balls, because the way you bowl is different than the way you bowl,
Yeah.
I may have to switch sooner or I may have to switch later.
Yeah.
No, there's no cut and dry rule this ball now.
Yeah.
That's what I find. I find too many bowlers that are, I just switch. And then I see them switch like that. There was no reason for that.
They don't know or have logic.
I see that
behind
too
it.
much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Make sure you guys work on what you do have in your arsenal and figure out what you have, because there's no sense in adding to something when you don't even know what you have in the first place. It's probably already going to work if you actually learn how to use it. So these balls are very good. You don't have
Remember,
to.
it's an arsenal.
It's an arsenal.
So if you're bowling and all 5 balls work at the exact same time, that's not much of an arsenal.
Not an arsenal.
If the arsenal's correct, when one ball is really, really, really good, you got one ball on each end of it, hook more, hook less, that's okay. And then you have 2 balls that don't work at all.
Yeah.
So that ball that's working great, when it stops working, now the other balls work better.
Yeah.
But if you I got a great look with all 5 balls, then what happens is when one ball goes bad, they might all go bad.
Yeah.
So be careful of that. I see that too many times. At bowl practice session, I had a great look with everything. Very rarely the next day is that person leading the sheet.
Yeah. You're not going to use a sniper rifle.
Usually
in
what
a
happens, you
close
bowl,
combat
you,
match.
you struggle in practice, you don't bowl very good, you come in the next day with no expectations, and you're so damn happy you got the first 3-bagger, you bowl great. When you whack him in practice, there's very little correlation to bowling good in tournaments.
I can attest to that.
I knew a lot of guys that won a lot of practice sessions, never won a tournament.
Yeah.
You had a guy like P. Weber, he threw about 4 shots, Roth about 20 shots, and they'd say, yep, the dots of their arrows were in the right place.
Good to
I'll
go.
figure it out tomorrow.
Yep.
Because practice doesn't, everybody looks at it a little bit different.
Yeah. You still got to show up on game day.
That's the only day you got to
You
show
got to
up.
show up on game day. Well, thank you so much, Mark. This has been fun. Shout out Storm Nation. Shout out you guys. Shout out to the crew. Until next time.
Everything's good. Thanks, guys.
Later, guys.
I do appreciate the questions. They're a lot of fun to answer.
And we're going to keep them
I want to
rolling.
make sure I'm not too boring, so I had to get a little fired up for one of them.
Oh, no. We got an endless amount for you. We're never running
Never
out of
ending.
these, baby.
You gotta love bowlers. I love it. Love it, love it.
Clean up crew. What you gonna do is the clean up crew. Come on through to the clean up crew. Throw them balls, I hope you do, with the clean up crew. The clean up crew.